How y'all doing? What I'm going to show you today is a little technique that I come up with when making a good old staple macaroni and cheese. This box of macaroni and cheese is 33 cents a box at Aldi, and this is that kind that's got that dry powdery cheese stuff in it. Well, you stick around and see if you don't like my technique to make sure it's creamy every single time and none of that little dry cheese powder stuff in it. Alright, so stay tuned and see how old PawPaw does it. Okay, well, the instructions say I'm supposed to use 4 tablespoons of butter, and 1/4 cup of milk, and this package of cheese powder. So what I'm doing is I'm trying not to waste my energy. I'm wanting to boil that water. I'm wanting to bring that water up to a boil, so why don't we let that water help soften that butter for us, huh? And when that butter's all melted, then I'll add my milk. We'll be back in a minute. Okay, my water has come to a boil. So now I'll add that macaroni and cheese. This is just the cheap stuff, 33 cents a box. But I'm letting that butter get melted. I got thinking, it makes no sense to me to try to melt your butter into the hot macaroni. Why not melt that butter ahead of time? We'll be back. So now, after I have my butter completely melted, I'm going to add my 1/4 cup of milk to it. And let's add the cheese. Now the macaroni still has a good 8 minutes it's got to cook. So I have plenty of time now to work with my cheese sauce and beat it down the way I want it, make sure there's no lumps in it, make sure there's no powdery spots, and get me a nice creamy cheese sauce. We'll be back. I'll tell you something about cooking pasta. Once that came up to a good boil, I cut that temperature back to where it's barely simmering, and it cooked just fine. I didn't have to have a hard boil the whole time. Just get it right there to that, just right to that point. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to dump this into a colander. Then I'm going to dump it right back into this pan. I'll be right back. All right. I'm going to pour it right into that cheese. And what's so nice about this is everything was already melted. Everything was already good to go. And when you put that moist macaroni in there, bam, you're done. And it's good and creamy. You ain't got to worry about some of it having cheese, some of it not having cheese. You don't have to worry about any dry little pieces of cheese, that powdery stuff. It's all done, it's all there, and there it is. Well, folks, I sure do appreciate you watching what I do there. It ain't nothing fancy. It's just a little technique I come up with. And if somebody else does it that way, more power to you. I'm not trying to say I'm the smartest son of a gun in the world, but when I come across something that makes work a lot easier, save time, save anything, save time or money, I want to share it with you. And that's the way I do my macaroni and cheese now, and it's so good every single time. Y'all have a wonderful day and a better tomorrow. Bye. This macaroni and cheese is PawPaw prepared and Marley approved.